Every year on the 3rd of October, Germany marks Unity Day, the day when a divided nation officially became one. It is a moment to reflect on the country's history, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the reunification that reshaped Germany. To understand why this day is so important, we need to go back to the years after the Second World War. Imagine a city where neighbors, friends, even families woke up to find themselves cut in two by concrete and barbed wire. That was Berlin in 1961, and it is the story that makes German Unity Day. After the Second World War, Germany was divided into 4 zones, each controlled by one of the Allied powers: the United States, Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. Berlin, though deep inside the Soviet zone, was also split into 4 sectors. By 1949, 2 new states had been created. In the West, the Federal Republic of Germany, democratic and market-driven. In the East, the German Democratic Republic, a socialist state under Soviet influence. But the GDR had a problem. Its own people were leaving. Between 1949 and 1961, more than 2.5 million East Germans fled, many of them doctors, engineers, teachers, and students. By the summer of 1961, thousands were crossing into West Berlin every single day. The brain drain threatened to collapse the East German economy. So, the authorities acted. On the night of 12th to 13th August 1961, East German forces rolled out barbed wire and blockades around West Berlin. Streets, rail lines, even family gardens were cut in two. In the weeks and months that followed, the makeshift barrier became a permanent one, a wall of concrete reinforced by electrified fences, watchtowers, guard dogs, and landmines. By the 1980s, the Berlin Wall stretched 155 kilometers in total, 43 kilometers slicing through Berlin itself, and the rest circling the western half of the city. It was actually a system of fortifications, parallel walls, floodlights, the so-called death strip in between, and armed patrols under orders to shoot anyone who tried to escape. And yet, thousands still risked it. Around 5,000 people made it across, through tunnels, in homemade balloons, even smuggled in cars. At least 140 lost their lives in the attempt, though some counts put the number closer to 190. Each escape and each death was a reminder of how far people would go for freedom. For 28 years, the wall stood as the concrete face of the Cold War. But by 1989, change was sweeping Eastern Europe. In East Germany, mass demonstrations demanded democracy. The Soviet leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, refused to send in tanks, unlike his predecessors. Then came 9th November 1989. At a press conference, an East German official, Günther Schabowski, stumbled over new travel rules, making it sound as though the borders were open immediately. That evening, thousands of East Berliners surged toward the checkpoints. Overwhelmed, confused guards stepped aside. The wall, the barrier that had defined a generation, was suddenly open. Crowds from both sides climbed the concrete, embraced, and began chipping away at it with hammers and chisels. Within days, pieces of the wall were being passed from hand to hand as souvenirs. Less than a year later, on the 3rd of October 1990, East and West Germany formally reunified. Since then, German Unity Day has been a national holiday. Each year, a different federal state hosts the official program of exhibitions, concerts, and debates. The date chosen is important too. While the wall itself fell on the 9th of November 1989, that day also carries a darker memory. The Nazi pogrom against Jews in 1938, known as Kristallnacht. To avoid overshadowing that history, Germany instead marks reunification on the 3rd of October, the day the legal and political merger was complete. As Germany marks the 35th anniversary of its historic reunification, debates over lingering political and social divides continue. Yet the Berlin Wall remains a powerful symbol of the nation's journey toward unity and the challenges it has overcome.